Yeah, it's one game, Skip. He played 16 minutes, but the other two guys that's in front of him was going crazy. Terry Rozier made 10 three-pointers, 10 of 16 from the three-point line, had a career high.
42.
Had 42. Devontae Graham, who was unbelievable last year, Skip, had 10 points and 10 assists. So Lamelo didn't play in the fourth quarter, but it does put him in very distinguished company. Of the top 3 picks, I think they said in the last 20, 25 years, he, Otto Porter Jr., Greg Oden, and Hassim Thabit are the only top 3 picks that did not score a point in the NBA debut. I don't know if I really want to be on that list because for Thabit and Greg Oden, Skip, it didn't go well. Otto Porter got a lot of money, but he hasn't been what a lot of people thought he was.
Nope.
But Skip, LaMelo is really not known as a scorer. He's more known for playmaking. And I don't really know how much playmaking, with Graham playing the way he does and Terry Rozier playing the way he does, because Rozier can put the ball in the basket. So can Graham. But they also can facilitate. So I'm not going to look, it's the first game. Maybe it was anxious and he was trying. I mean, he was 0 for 5 from the floor, as Jenny mentioned, 0 for 3 from the three-point line. So I'm not going to, it's one game. Now, but I'm going to need to see something moving forward, Skip. I can't see a whole lot of more 0-point games and says, okay, yeah, it's all good.
Because you told me at the end of yesterday's show that the game you were most looking forward to watching was LaMelo's game.
Yeah, and then Terry Rozier started going crazy. And then I'm like, I don't think I'm going to see LaMelo. Yeah.
Okay. The first sign, the first bad sign for me was I realized LaMelo's just a teenager. We get that. But he doesn't even start for what's not a very good team. Do I think they're going to make the playoffs? I don't.
Right. No, hell no, they ain't making the playoffs.
But what I'm saying, you saw the firepower from... I like Terry Rozier. I have a lot, high respect for him.
I like Graham.
Yeah, I do too. And Gordon Hayward, I'm not the biggest fan, but they gave him a lot of money. And he scored 28 last night, but they're not going to sniff the playoffs.
Right.
So LaMelo doesn't start. And as you point out, he plays a grand total of 16 minutes last night. And while he was on the floor, he looked lost to me. He just, there were a lot of standing in the corner plays where he's like watching Terry Rozier. And they were playing him with Rozier and Devontae Graham. They were playing 3 guards. Well, how much touch is he going to get? Right. How much are you going to have the basketball in his hands? Not a lot.
No.
So.
And I don't know if he's a guy that can play without the ball in his hands.
He is the point guard.
He's
got to be the orchestrator of the offense. For his own offense or for the rest of the guys' offense. You think he's going to be a better passer than his big brother. I don't see that yet. You could be right because I just haven't seen enough of him at this high level. He played in the Australian League.
Right.
He was horrible from 3 in that league, was under 30%. I think he was 25%. He was 0 for 3 from 3 last night. Didn't even get to the free throw line. I don't know. He had 3 assists, and he did have 2 steals. He can steal the ball like his brother can. But, again, I am the biggest Michael Jordan fan on the planet, but when it comes to running the franchise, I am the least of the fans because this is horrendous what keeps happening here. And I'm sure Charlotte fans just sat back last night and said, well, here we go again.
Well, I think the thing is, Skip, what happens is that they keep falling in the second spot. You get the second pick, and Anthony Davis goes 1, you're stuck with Kid Gilchrist. You get, the third pick, and you get Adam Morrison, you could have got. So that's the thing, Skip. It's like, you get the second pick when Peyton Manning comes out, or you get the second pick with one of these franchise, one of these franchise quarterbacks. Somebody going to be ticked off again because, Trevor Lawrence is going to go first. They're like, well, dang. Okay,
just to remind people, and I hate to bring it back up, but under Michael's supervision, under his expertise, running the franchise, they've made the playoffs 3 times in 14 years. They got swept twice. They took the Miami Heat to 7 games once. So the record is 3-12 in the postseason under Michael with only 3 appearances in 14 years.
Right.
Well, that's the Eastern Conference. That's not right.
No. You need somebody to make a mistake. You need to be in the 2 spot, and somebody takes Greg Oden, and you get a Kevin Durant.
And then, as I always tell you, sometimes the greater the player, the worse the drafter. Because he was so great. He was.
You can't see skill.
You can't see. You just can't. Well, I could do it, but I think he could. No, he can't do it.
Right.
No. So remember, he did take Kwame Brown when he was running the Wizards with the 1st overall.
Correct.
Okay, he wasn't bad, but he wasn't the 1st overall pick. And then just a few of these that I'm going to run through. He drafted Adam Morrison over Brandon Roy. Okay.
Brandon Roy had a short career, but he was better in that short career. He was better than Adam Morris.
He drafted Kemba, who's really good, but he passed on Clay and Kawhi. I don't know about that. And then he took Michael Kidd-Gilchrist over Bradley Beal and Damian Lillard.
Yes,
Still on the board.
thank you.
No, I don't think that'll work. And then let's go down to, he took Frank Kaminsky over Devin Booker. No. He even took Malachi Richardson over Pascal Siakam. No. And then Malik Monk over Donovan Mitchell. These are just a few.
Right.
Okay? It's just one after another after another. It's no good.
But think about it, Skip. What are all those guys? Those guys are from prominent programs. You look at Damian Lillard, you look at some of those other guys, they come from lesser programs. So he's going with the tried and trues. He's going with the Kentuckies and all those big name programs, the blue bloods. But sometimes a Dame Lillard, you got to go off the beaten path.
You got to go off the path. I agree. You got to be able to see it and believe it and know it, and he doesn't as a team builder.
Skip, but when you're that great, and Magic said it. Magic said, you know, I would ask a guy, I'm like, man, why you didn't do that? And the guy would say, Irvin, he's not you. He can't see that. He can't do. That was a gift. You don't get how. And Skip, the greats, they really don't get how special they are because they just roll out of bed and do what they do. Michael didn't. I mean, that jumping like what? Everybody can't jump like this. Everybody can't shoot a mid-range like this. Kobe, everybody can't fade away. No, no, that's a gift. Everybody can't do that. And so he's thinking that. Oh, yeah, well, why can't you? Man, I could do that in my sleep.
Yep.
Yeah,
and now we see so many R.C. Bufords and Sam Presties who did not play pro basketball.
Right.
They're just guys who get it.
And look at the coaches.
Okay. A lot of they didn't play.
You get very few coaches that actually played the game. I mean, you got Ditka and Coach Dungy, I think, might be the only guys that actually played in the NFL. You know, one Super and coach in one Super because it's hard. Skip, you look at Coach Belichick. You said Coach Belichick played lacrosse.
He did.
He coached football. You look at
Division III Wesleyan.
It's normally the coaches that were okay, the below average players that make the great coaches.
I got it. And to button this up, Anthony Edwards, who went one to Jenny's T-Wolves, he said after the game last night, which he was pretty good, and he had 15, 4, and 4.
Yeah.
He said, it's not that hard, to be honest. I mean, in the transition, he said, coming out of college where I got double-teamed every game, all game.
Right.
Here, they can't double because we have too many shooters.
Right.
So he obviously doesn't get double-teamed, and he had a nice start. Okay.
Basically, Skip, it's just one-on-one. Yeah. Can you win one-on-one? Because like you said, he got D-Law, he got Karl Anthony Towns, so he's going to be the third option. So you're going to probably get the third best player, So
he says it's not that hard, and LaMelo scores 0.
0 points is kind of a tough one. I don't know if we're going to hear from Dad today after that performance. Maybe not. But I do have another interesting thing to discuss. Has it been the most disappointing season in Cowboys history? Well, Skip may tell you differently. We'll tell you what Jerry Jones had to say. His quotes are always good. Next.